Yeah,
Okay.
Thea, could you set your phone down someplace solid because it's kind of wobbling all over, which is a distraction for folks that are watching. So she's probably going to go set it up someplace.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, she says got it. She'll figure that out.
Hmm.
Uh, Thea, we realized the other day, is a dead ringer for the young Elizabeth Taylor. She could
Whoa,
walk into a casting call and take the role right now,
Uh-huh.
not
just
bad,
like her.
not bad.
Pretty funny.
Uh,
So there we go. Okay, we got 5:30,
okay.
which I know Bob Bill likes to wait, but it is 5:30, and people we want to keep everything on the same schedule. And if anybody comes in late, they can always watch it in the recording.
Okay.
That's right.
So this gives us an hour.
Hmm.
So if you want to get started there, Bill, on the meeting, that would be great.
Okay. Terrific. Well, with that, I would like to introduce our speaker, Samuel John Klein. Give it away, Sam.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am going to talk for a while about my journey toward being an artist because it is now getting started in earnest. The times kind of call for it. I'm in my upper years, and I have wanted to be an artist ever since I was a kid. The trouble is, real life keeps getting in the way. And I find myself right now going through a lot of changes because of the way the world is right now. There is a lot of emotional stuff going on. And my hopeful uh, destination at the end of this journey is just being someone that somebody can look to and help to understand the world to, and maybe make a little bit of a living at it. I know that that's kind of a tough call, and it was when times were different, and it probably is even a little more so now. I live in Portland, Oregon. I am 62 years old, and I have worked in a series of just pay the bills stuff for years now. I have been fortunate over the last several years online to acquire a group of people I consider friends who are artists, who are cartoonists. I've been a admirer of Donna's work long before I knew her personally, and I've always found it inspiring, challenging, and fun. Uh, let's see, Roberta and Bitchy Bitch has always been a favorite of mine. I have known people who have gotten small starts and gone on to them and on to greater things. And I'd like to try and take um, that course if I can. I have been lately practicing. I am putting stuff up online now, doing stuff that I hope encourages people I know who find these times very challenging. The Like I said, my hopeful course is to get better at drawing, to get much better at watercoloring, to develop characters and stories that I have always felt inside me that needed to be told, and to link them in a way to the world around me that is meaningful to me and hopefully to other people. Um, my biggest my biggest um, expression over the past few years has been paint by number, and the reason that I like that so much is it's because it's kind of low stakes. You get the feeling of painting, you get the feeling of experiencing and working with paint, and if you get something wrong with it, then you go on and you just paint over it or you do it over. There is a brand that I'm very, very fond of. It's called Paintworks, and Paintworks is good. because it teaches you some very painterly things. It teaches you stippling. It teaches you dry brushing. It teaches you effects that elevate the paint by number art form from mere just filling in the numbers to something that has a little art in it. And from there, you go other places. I have been also working into improving my drawing, getting some books. I have them here by my side from some of the greater teachers. Let's see, the name of Andrew Loomis comes to mind. I don't know if any of you have seen his books. They've been reproduced lately by Titan Press, and I have successful drawing. I have creative illustration, figure drawing for all it's worth, which I highly recommend anybody who's really just interested in it. I have also a selection of great art stores which are near us. Down here in Portland, we're very, very spoiled that way. There is a place called I've Been Framed that operates as Art Supply Center on the east side. And there is also a framing shop. Now, this place was opened some at least 60 years ago by a guy who just liked clearing out art supplies. And over the time, it's become a haven of inspiration and just a place to go to feel good. If anybody has ever seen a place that, a store, and, it's a store, it's a mercantile place. That's what the world is. But you go in there and there's a spirit there that feels revolutionary. This is that place. It's woman owned. It's staffed by people who are trying to be artists themselves. It has everything that really any level of artist needs to get going. You've got people who are sensitive to beginners and people who are also trying to make their own names as artists, and they all work there. And you go in there and it is this gallimaufry of colors and artworks, and it's kind of like a collage come to life. And if you're ever in Portland, it's a place at the corner of Foster Road and Powell Boulevard. There's a sign outside that says Art Supply Center, and you go in there and you begin to feel what it's like to be a kid again, and you see all these great products, and you start thinking about what you can do with them. We also have a couple of branches of Artists and Craftsmen Supply, and I know you guys probably know about this place, but if you don't, it is a worker-owned chain that is across the nation. And we have two branches here, and it has kind of the same energy. We also have a branch of Blick. So if you're in Portland, getting a hold of inspiring supplies and inspiring people isn't really all that hard. You don't really have to know where to look once you find one of these places, because they all point each other out. Now, as far as other inspirations go, I find a lot of hope and a lot of delight in cartooning. I know a couple of editorial cartoonists online. I know some of the local cartoonists, and I eat up their work. And my wife also does cartooning. She really just does it for herself and for me, but she has a little character she's developed. She's called Zob the Glob, and he's this little ice cream shaped scoop of sentient matter, which has a big pair of round glasses. And he goes everywhere and he reacts to everything. He loves nature. He has a lot of animal friends. And where it matters in my life is that she will send these on drawn on containers to every day I go to work, and these never fail to raise a smile with me. And what has really prepossessed me about my wife's artwork about this time is that she's come up with this character, and through that I have been able to learn how important character is. No matter the brevity of the cartoon, no matter the situation, if there's a character in there that you can relate to, and I can relate to Zob really hard, then it's like you're sharing a little bit of that character's life. And she draws her inspiration from the old panel gag cartoonists, the Charles Adamses, the Sean Days, the people who used to populate the pages of the New Yorker back when it was really, setting the example for strange and absurd and sometimes surrealistic humor. And she's learned those lessons very well. And if I was ever in the position to promote a cartoonist, I'd promote that, because that is something that's brought me a lot of happiness. I love watching her create. I love watching anybody create, really. Now, as far as watching people create, as many of us probably, get a lot out of watching channels on YouTube, the creators who take time to paint in acrylics and just lay it all out there for you. One of the things that I want to move forward doing is, over the years, while I'm making this journey toward being an artist on my own, I've collected just like an absolute ton of art materials. And one thing I want to do is explore each one of those and note down what I find out. Like up until recently, I'm teaching myself every day. I didn't know there was such a thing as a double E pencil. And maybe you folks do. I know that what it is now is half charcoal and half graphite, and it gives the benefits of a soft lead and the darkness of a charcoal, which is really fun to blend out. And I've colored a lot of fingertips that way doing that. Another thing that I have been doing lately is getting to know color. Now, this is a basic thing, but this is like a revelation to me. And one of the things I've been playing with in a big way is color theory and the idea of color biases. Now, mixing color has always been something of a mystery to me, or at least it was up until then. And it's still something I have to make an effort to do. But knowing what a bias is and making my peace with that information has actually elevated my color mixing game, and I can take something and study it and come up with a color close to what I really, really want to do. And it's just a little bit of extra stuff that really elevated my game as far as the color went. That's about all I have to say about that, although more of the explorations I do and hopefully more of the stuff I put online is going to be, in the vein of that, exploring basic stuff. I believe that there's a lot of people out there who want to I can share some stuff that I've been doing, Donna. Yeah, but what I want to do in general is maybe reassure other people who are starting art late in their lives that there's no reason not to do that, and that no matter how far you go, it's a thing that you can do, that you can elevate your own life that way. Now let's see. I've got some. See, there we go. Let me. I've got a few things that I have here in a folder that I'd like to share. And as soon as I Okay, come on, open you. There we go. Artwork. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me do a share. Okay. All right. Here's a bunch of things that I selected. This particular one here is a particular favorite, and I did this with the ink and stippling, and as soon as it comes up, you'll see what I mean, I'm sure. Come on, little computer, do your stuff. Okay. Bear with me, everybody. There we go. No. Oh, come on. Well, let's open it. Oh, okay, it's working. Or is it? Oh, okay. Let's try it with this one. Here we go. Are we working finally?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay. This is some of the work I've been doing in pencil. I like to go toward a realistic version. I'm very much a fan of what they call the photorealists. And when I have something that teaches me a little bit about how to make something really, you know, three-dimensional and real, then I'm always going to give that a try. Let's see, what else here?
I really like that. I like
Yeah.
in it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now let's see. Now this is what I wanted to show first here. Let's. Okay, now this was one which I okay, I don't want you to do that. Let's go over here. Come on. There we go. Okay, this is a favorite of mine because it combines ink work and it also combines stippling in order to create textures, create mood, create feeling, that sort of thing. Now let's see. Another one here in pencil. A fun one to do because it has the depth, has the shadow. And let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, now this one is a particular one. Living in the Northwest as we do, and I know you all know this too, we have some beautiful landscapes, some mountains. And a little while back, I took a photo of Mount St. Helens, which, you know, was taken when the event happened, and gridded it out and blew it up and took myself to school on how to shade, how to give depth, how to give character to a thing. And we framed this, and it is in our house, and all of us are in love with this thing, well, including me. But this really speaks to my sense of place as a native Oregonian, a resident of the Pacific Northwest, a person who lives in Oregon. But as you just don't get things like this anywhere else. And I'm pretty proud of being here. I love being here. So let's see here.
Washington and Oregon are the best places in the world to live, in my opinion.
I agree with you 1000%. I was so lucky to have been born here, and thrilled about the heritage. Here's another one. I dealt with shadow and light and reflections off of glass, that sort of thing. My let's see here. What is that one? Okay, yeah. Now I mentioned paint by numbers and the product known as Paintworks, and this is available at any store. But the beauty of this is that, you know, any two of us could paint this. It would come out mostly the same. But the directions encourage you to get to know things like stippling and dry brushing and blending, and they come up with paintings that, you know, seem very unpaint by numberly, and they're a great amount of fun. And if you're trying to keep your artistic motions going, the part of it, the somatic part of it, then this, you know, it keeps you moving. And I think when you're at my point in life, keeping moving is really what it's all about. Okay, a little watercolor experimentation. Let's see, we do a little bit of practice with shading, layering. Watercolor is very exciting to me because it feels like you're kind of like trying to capture lightning in a bottle when you're doing it. Now, I mentioned Zob the Glob. Now, here's one of them. And I don't know if you can picture it, but imagine you're going to work and it's another day on the job and mumble, and you'd rather be doing anything other like this. And you get to work and you reach in your pocket and your spouse has given you a cartoon. And this is Zob. He's just a little guy. He experiences things, and his little emotions are your little emotions, and he just gives you something to relate to. He's a friend. He's a character, and it really makes me happy to see him. He doesn't know what's coming out of that egg, but he's going to be there when it happens. Let's see. And I have in the past, now here's another one of mine, which I'm fairly proud of. I decided to do some poor man's surrealism and put Mount Hood on a plate for lunch. And I had a lot of fun doing the shadows on that, the pattern. Actually, blending graphite, when I finally figured out what to do with it, that was like a revelation for me. Now, one thing I am struggling with right now, and I'm going to win that struggle, it might take a while, but I'll win it, is a colored pencil. And I like colored pencil because it's like drawing and painting all in one. And I took this out of another fairly popular photo, downtown Portland in the foreground and Mount Hood floating out there in the background. And I did it on a little bit of Bristol, and it was this in and of itself was something of a liberation for me. Once again, showing off the beauty of the city I'm fortunate enough to still live in and my countryside. Another paint by number one, which I enjoyed because it is full of light in the good way. And once again, this is paint by number, and the product is done so well. If you didn't know it's paint by number, you might not be able to tell. But the light in the background, the colors in the foreground, cool up here, warm back there. There's just nothing nothing wrong with that thing, I think. Fun with color mixing and doing color wheels. And I have a, come on, babe. What are we doing? There we go. And I have fun, you know, cataloging everything I got. I've found you have to be kind of a researcher, and I enjoy researching things like this. And that is a lot of what I had to share with everybody. And so if anybody wanted to, like, you know, ask me questions or, okay, yeah. And if anybody wanted to ask me questions or badger me about anything, now would be the time. I'm certainly happy to.
Well, I have been watching your journey as an artist for a long time. In fact, I think I sent you a paint by number kit once.
Oh, yeah.
A while ago. Did I send one? I have a terrible memory.
Yes, this was part of the wrapping. I've saved it.
Blame the 10 Tomcats times.
Yes, you.
I have no idea why I wrote that.
Because I started posting them on my blog, and I call my blog the Same Cats and Times because we had 10 cats when I started it.
I remember that now. I remember that. And I just found this thing in the thrift store, and I thought, well, it's brand new, and you know, who else was going to want it?
And you threw it my direction, and the rest,
I just gave it to you.
Is history. And I've been actively playing around with the paint by number ever since, and that has kept me interested. I like to think that I'm the only one that feels this way. Of course, if you're neurodivergent at all, pretty soon you find out you're not the only one that feels this way. But I like to think that really got me started. I've had people who've encouraged me to do this, you know, pretty much all my life. But sometimes you just need some sort of oomph to get going. And that helped.
Well, this is actually one of the reasons we had Cartoonists Northwest, is because there's people who they're the only cartoonists or artists that they know. And so here's a group ready-made with people of all different levels. We have high professionals here who make a living off it. We have people who are just getting started. We have young people, older people, and we're all in the group, and everybody's quite supportive and helpful. And we always like to hear everything that everybody is saying. And if you got anything else you want to share with us, or have you anybody else have any questions? I think Sam's done a very good job of showing how someone begins to be an artist and moves forward. And so if anybody's got any kind of information about, well, when you become an artist, it's not just about, you know, drawing for yourself. It's about marketing and going to galleries and things like that. And I just want to ask Sam, have you got any kind of goal if you're going to be doing any kind of sales or just display or participation?
Well, I'd like to do it all, whatever is the most nourishing. I'd like at least being part of the group and the give and take of ideas, and having somebody always there to learn from, and maybe somebody to share what I know with as soon as I get, you know, more valuable information under my hood. I would like to eventually get to a point where I'm selling. I would like to get to a point where maybe I could do some storytelling and become known for that. So I guess I am hoping to get into a way of making a living and a name doing it. Now that I'm in my, I am where I at my point in life. They say, you know, age is just a number. Well, yeah, it is a number, but so is lifespan. So one thing I would like to unlock for myself is the key to motivation, because a lot of people will tell you, you know, you need inspiration as an artist, you need inspiration artist. And I know that. And I live in a land that's made of nothing but inspiration. But inspiration, it's like having a tank full of gas and no engine to run it. so I would like to find that motivation to keep me going, and also share that with other people. I'm looking at trying to, excuse me, trying to make it into into a space where I teach as much as I learn, where hopefully I make enough money to keep it going, where I can go and be in spaces where people give me as much as I give them, or give, or vice versa. And I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but there's just so much possibility in right now. And I think probably.
Well, you're in Portland, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of artistic happenings going on. Are you going to them? Are you going to, like, drink and draws? And we usually have a drink and draw. Are you actually going to do your work with other artists? Because once you start doing that, it's you just take off. You have all kinds of wonderful connections, and just having other people look over your shoulder and go, "Oh, that's so cool," and they will. They will. These are not artists have a tendency not to be abusive people. They want to help other artists. So if you go to any kind of art gathering, where people are just getting together to be artists locally, these online clubs are fun. But when you're actually doing hands-on stuff with other artists locally, and you're in Portland, you've got a wealth of groups you could join, be part of.
Yeah, I think what I need to learn is how to look at them, because I don't quite see them all yet, and I think that's my big weakness there.
Just go in any art supply store, see what kind of things your local library hosts, because they've always got some kind of art thing going on. Go to the art supply stores; they're always having classes, and they're always. You could always volunteer as a teacher. I mean, you may not think you're there yet, but let us say that you've certainly mastered paint by number. And you could help people who get their first paint by number kit. And as you've said, it will help people to learn how to practice the different brushes, how to practice pressures, and how to use the different tools without worrying about your drawing skills yet. I mean, you should be practicing your drawing skills all the time.
Yes.
But this will give you the other practice. And if you offer it, say, I would like to teach people how to really approach and be creative with paint by number. And you could you could end up, even getting paid for it, or do like I did and get handed a nice light table in return for teaching a class. So don't be shy. Go offer to class.
Well, I do know a place where I could start here, and with getting information, and like I said, I've been framed as like that. Everybody should have an art supply store like that in their backyard. I mean, it's really. I'm freaking in love with the place. The owner is a wonderful woman, and she encourages everybody.
That's excellent to hear. We're only at like 6:08 here. Normally this would go for an hour. So if you have any other, and we're not saying you have to make up more stuff or whatever, but if you have anything else to say, we'd love to hear it. And anybody else have any questions for Sam?
Yeah.
Or encouragement?
Yeah. Come on, bring it home to me. Make me earn it.
Either that, or this is just short and sweet. Because that was very, very well spoken, well shared moment.
Thank you very much. So, well, I must again say just how flattered and honored I am to be included in this group. You all are people I incredibly admire, and in some small ways I kind of base the way I look at the world on what I see through you people. And I think anybody who doesn't have Cartoonists for Friends is really missing out. I gotta tell you.
They're supportive and fun people, and they are certainly little warriors in hard times, because you really cannot stop somebody who's got a pencil and a sense of humor.
Or a pencil and axe to grind, maybe.
Maureen?
I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed listening to him talk about building up, like the drawings you did, and then you did a colored pencil drawing, then colored pencil, and paint by number and all that. It was really interesting to hear the process.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead, Mark.
I saw that you have a Bluesky. I was kind of curious if you had an Instagram account as well.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's, let's see, where did that chat go? And I'll put that up there.
That's where I've been watching his wife's lunchbox art gallery for, I swear, years now. And by the way, I have always wondered, what the heck is he sharing? Is he drawing on containers in stores? What's going on here? This is the first time you've clarified that your wife is leaving you tiny art galleries in your lunchbox.
Yeah, well, she does it because she loves doing it. I love watching her do it, and it brightens my day every time I see it. I take a look, and she's done something absurd or silly or sweet, and it just makes me smile every day. And you need that. You really do.
I wonder if you put those all together, whether you couldn't make an animation. Got a lot of photographs there.
Yeah, that's right. More than a couple thousand little drawings on top of fruit cup containers by now. So yeah.
Oh, I was wondering what your wife did. So she draws on top of the fruit containers. Oh, yeah. That's really cute.
Yeah. It started. Well, there used to be a brand that had a little cloud that you could write a little letter, like "Go Bobby" or "Go Billy" or something like that. And she came up with this character and started putting him in those little clouds. And that brand doesn't exist anymore, but that's not going to stop it. She's going to keep on. Yeah. She's going to keep on. She gets a Sharpie or a little Zig pen or whatever, and just goes to town on it. And it thrills me, because one of the things I like as somebody who reads a lot of cartoons and reads a lot of cartoonists is I like to see styles evolving over time, and she's gotten skillful at doing little things that she couldn't do before, and it is really just it's really quite an affirming thing to watch.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
What's this Trust Nixon poster in your background?
I have a few little let's see, I have an Alfred E. Newman poster over here. I have that. And I never went to this performance, but Frost Nixon is a play as well as a movie. And I saw the movie, and it is very, very insightful. I was 10 years old when Watergate happened. And for some reason, I paid attention to it and I comprehended it all. So let's see, I'm the stereotypical gifted kid who never did anything with it. As somebody said, I was just going to be dressed as myself for Halloween and say I was a gifted kid, and somebody would ask, what are you supposed to be? And I would say a lot of things. Anyway, that is a poster I like because, first of all, it's a time in American political history, which I was always keyed into. It was, and the design of it, the way it merges the two men's faces together is quite fascinating. And I think it really stands for a lot of the confusion and dismay people had at the time with that going on. But it's just a poster for a play that I never got a chance to attend, but I do enjoy that poster. I enjoy the hell out of it.
Mark, I think I stepped on you. You had a question?
You're muted, Mark.
Muted. You're muted. We can't hear you. Mark, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, you guys were buried underneath layers of tabs.
Hey.
Maureen, no, he already answered my question. I asked if he had an Instagram account. So,
Maureen, now you're muted.
I put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was busy tagging on that. If I looked like I was asking a question, it's just
Now, right now, online.
Old man mouth.
Oh, right now, a lot of my online stuff, my Instagram stuff, is mostly my photographs, and I haven't drawn much lately. But the more I draw, the more I'll put more drawings up in that space. So they'll be coming.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Well, this is kind of like a hobby I've had lately, which is launching artists, finding people that I think can expand their range, even to the point of harassing podcasters.
Well, I feel I feel very, very, very honored and flattered about that. It's not the first time you've encouraged me, by the way. You've encouraged me
Yep.
before.
Well, this time I got you on the show.
Absolutely.
And Bill will tell you that sometimes I run around going, where am I going to get somebody on the show? Because people are shy
Mm-hmm.
and they don't think they're good enough.
I'm pleased to be content. I'm content content.
I almost like a T-shirt that's like, I'm pleased to be content. That's
It's all content these days.
yeah.
Mm.